Kim, what is our fifth main topic today?
All right, guys, this comes from Box Office Fan. He says, "Hi, John. Well, Deadline is reporting Feige has said they are working on a top secret Marvel project with Scarlett Johansson that's not a Black Widow film. John, could this be the long-teased A-Force film? What do you think of this news? Also, glad Scarlett is sticking with Marvel after Disney threw her under the bus."
What a mess that whole thing was.
That was so embarrassing for them.
What an embarrassment.
Head in the sand. Keep
Bob
it there.
Chapek so embarrassed the company with the way they botched the whole Scarlett Johansson thing. And it ended exactly the way I said it would end.
Cha-ching.
It's going to end with Disney writing a big old check to Scarlett Johansson. That's how I told you from day one this whole thing was going to end. And that is indeed how it's going to end. And that business is business. You know, George Miller and Warner Brothers got into a nasty legal fight over Mad Max recently. But business is business. They settled that, and now they're doing more Mad Max together, more Mad Max World together, right? And so here we are with this. Yeah, Disney so botched the Scarlett Johansson thing. Like, you got to teach this in executive entertainment classes about how not to handle a situation. And it ended the way it ended, but fine. It's now in the rearview mirror. We're moving forward now. Now, recently, for those of you who don't know about this story, this actually broke on Friday. There was this big event held at by American Cinematheque, I believe, kind of honoring the career of Scarlett Johansson. And there was a big red carpet event, and everybody showed up to it. And Kevin Feige dropped a little bit of something at it, right? So this comes to us from Variety that writes this. Kevin Feige took to the stage to introduce the Black Widow retrospective, touting Johansson's contributions to the MCU as both the actor who embodied Natasha Romanoff for the last decade and a very, very smart producer. He also celebrated her work as a model for the expanding network of female characters that have followed her lead. Among other platitudes, Kevin Feige called Johansson one of the most talented, versatile, and beloved actors of our time. Then, the Marvel chief broke a little news. We already are working with Scarlett on another, not Black Widow related, top secret Marvel Studios project, Kevin Feige announced. Let's read that last part again. Then the Marvel chief broke a little news. We are working with Scarlett on another, not Black Widow related top secret Marvel Studio project, Feige announced. All right. This is interesting. Because I would say this, I would agree with the person who sent in the question. My first thought was going to be A-Force, because we've heard both her, we've heard, why am I freezing on the actress from Creed who plays
Tessa Thompson.
What's that?
Tessa Thompson.
Tessa Thompson, thank you. We've heard Tessa Thompson talking about this as well. We've also heard, I'm freezing on her name too, Canadian actress from Lost. And then she's in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's Wasp in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I'm forgetting. I can't remember.
Child.
Everybody in the live chat's gonna throw this in.
Yeah.
But good Canadian girl, by the way.
Evangeline
Lilly. That's it. Thank you. So Evangeline Lilly has also talked about this potential of an A-Force thing and whatever. Of course, A-Force in that scene in Endgame, as the big battle's going on, at one point in it, I think it was Captain Marvel had the gauntlet, or had all the stones, and then all the female heroes kind of gathered together for a big bull rush.
How are you going to carry that alone?
Yeah, that's right.
She's not alone.
She's not alone, right? It was a extremely fan-servicey moment in an extremely fan-servicey movie, but people got chills. I'll tell you, I got chills in that moment. I also, you know what gave me the biggest chills though? Aside from obviously Steve Rogers getting the hammer, that's obviously the biggest thrill
Best moment
right?
ever in my
But
life.
honestly, surprisingly enough, if you had told me about this moment in the movie, I wouldn't have guessed it would have given me chills. But it's the moment when Tony and Pepper are back to back, spinning through the air, firing off back to back. I got chills.
That moment should have been 10 seconds longer. It was a little too short.
It was
I wanted
a little
to see
short,
more. I wanted to see more.
Because that's one of the only comic book movie romances I've ever liked is Tony and Pepper. I love that relationship. Love it, love it, love it, love it. That and Makari and Druig now from Eternals. I love that one too. I shipped that one. But that was great. That was fantastic, all that kind of stuff. But That was the A-Force thing that everybody talks about, right? When we see all the female heroes. So there's been a lot of talk about maybe an A-Force movie. So my thought directly went to that as well, that this could be A-Force. But let's take one more look at what specifically Feige said, right? We are already working with Scarlett Johansson on a not Black Widow related. Like, he didn't just say it's not a Black Widow movie. Because if it's just not a Black Widow movie, then it could be A-Force. It could be something. Captain America Winter Soldier is not a Black Widow movie, but she features prominently in it. Feige specifically said here, it is not Black Widow related. So I guess there could be some wiggle room there that he might still be talking about A-Force, or maybe she's not an actress in it at all. Maybe she's just going to act as a producer on a project. Maybe I don't know. You hear this. What do you think he's talking about when he says Scarlett Johansson is already working with us on a non-Black Widow related thing? Is it just a little misdirect? Could it be Black Widow? Could it be A-Force? Think she's just going to be producing? Do you think she's going to be acting? Do you have any guesses right now what you think it could be?
I think we're done with Black Widow. I think we're totally done with Black Widow. Her exit was tragic yet beautiful, but it was one of those endings where it's like, it's done. It's done. I don't know. I was thinking at first, but honestly, I think Black Widow, we are done seeing her totally and completely. Unless you're going to have any flashbacks with Hawkeye, as we see Helena going and, dealing with that like we saw in the end credit scene.
By the way, just throwing out there, I think there's a 30% chance in the Hawkeye series that starts this week that we're going to see a flashback with Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Yeah,
I give it like a solid 30% chance for that.
Yeah. I think we might go a little bit more into Budapest.
Yeah, I agree.
Just as a memory, as he gets into the holidays and looks at the Christmas tree and remembers his dear friend. But honestly, I don't know. But I'm really excited that Kevin Feige is sticking with her. I'm really excited that she is still sticking with Disney. I think they're a great pair if they could behave themselves.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Guys, question is for you. What do you think this big top secret Scarlett Johansson project might be? I still think there's a chance it could be A-Force related that she's working on. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe she's going to be a producer. Maybe she'll be back acting. Whatever you guys think this might be, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.